someplace between your dream and your destiny is a process. And in that process, in that journey, there's a battle, and the battle's in your mind. And it's the battle between doubt and faith. So I want to start out, and this is where when we're starting companies and we're entrepreneurs, it's really easy to get our butts kicked here. So this is something that we have to learn how to master. Doubt is a thought that comes into your head that's contrary to your success. And it usually is kind of an innocent thought, maybe a concern. Well, what if this or what if that? Can you imagine in an NFL huddle if somebody was in there and they started saying, well, what if I miss the pass? Well, what if this happens? Well, what if that? You'd say, get out of here. So when that doubt thought comes in, one of the questions we have to ask ourselves is, where's it from? Is it from the winning team or is it from the losing team? Is it from God or is it from the enemy? If we don't get rid of that thought, that doubt thought, it will always progress right over into fear. To me, when I allow fear in my life, I'm the producer, I'm the director, I'm the star actor. I win an Academy Award performance on the downfall of Gerald Duran. In 30 seconds, I could start to imagine my failure. Right from that little doubt thought, I go, well, what if this? Well, what if that? Well, what if this other thing? And the next thing you know, I'm in fear. If you allow fear in your life, you will immediately advance over to worry. And worry is where you replay that thought over and over. It's kind of like you created this horror flick and now you're watching it over and over and over. And guess what happens when you do that? You lose your courage. So you go from doubt to fear to worry, right into discouragement. And if you don't cut it when it's in discouragement, you'll go into depression and right into failure. This happens to a lot of us. So what's the flip side? What do we do? Well, it's one of the reasons why we're always looking at the 6,000 promises, because faith comes by hearing the word of God. So faith is believing, it's calling what is not as though it were. So it's trusting God for his how and his when. And when we have faith, we'll move from faith into expectation, where we expect God to make good on his promises. Part of this process is looking into the past and thinking about all the situations we've been in that looked horrible, but God came through. So it's looking into the past and remembering all of the times when God came through, plus adding in the 6,000 promises that God has for us and for our success. So we go from faith to expectation, trusting God for the how and the when. And when we have expectation, we get peace. It's amazing. You could be in some horrible circumstances and be at 95 to 100% peace. Zero worry, zero stress. And when you have peace, you'll get your desire back to continue on the journey, no matter how hard it is. And when you have desire, you'll have perseverance. And that means even when I get to the end of the rope, I tie a knot, I hold on, I don't quit. I've got no quit. I don't even know what that word means. And that's when we have the success. So we go from faith to expectation to peace to desire to perseverance, right into success. Those are two different ways of thinking. And if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to be on the faith side. Because I can tell you, if you're down on Worry Avenue, you're going to be miserable. And you'll get so frightened and afraid, especially when you're in the stages of when you're pursuing your dreams and you're in this difficulty and the dead ends that come when you launch companies. You got to be able to walk through those. So this is one of the things that we have to learn. It's part of the know-how of being an entrepreneur. It's uncommon thinking, it's entrepreneurial thinking, and it's God-backed thinking.